What is the academic subdiscipline logistics? You might have heard of logistics, and you might know that it has to do with transportation, storage of goods, and making sure that customers are supplied with goods. But what is the academic subdiscipline logistics? Let me tell you a short story about logistics history in business studies. First, academics used to research business functions in isolation. The core functions of a business, buy, make, and sell, were covered by the subdisciplines materials management, production theory, and sales and distribution or marketing. Logistics did not exist yet as an academic subdiscipline in business studies. Research in this area took place, but only for each business function in isolation. Procurement logistics investigated how a business could best move materials from its direct suppliers to its own storage locations. Storage and transport within the making of products was addressed by production planning. And distribution logistics focused on storing end products and delivering them to their direct customers. Only from the 70s, business academics started thinking about the integration of these logistics functions. Why did this happen? Because new technologies made it possible. These information systems were called materials requirements systems in the 70s, manufacturing resource planning systems in the 80s, and enterprise resource planning systems in the 90s. They could integrate data of different business functions on a strategic and operational level. This was the time when business logistics became integrated. Since the 80s, it is possible to reduce storage costs of materials by procuring and producing for real customer orders just in time. Logistics evolved as an academic subdiscipline, and business started integrating procurement logistics, production planning, and distribution logistics in their organizational structures by creating logistics departments. You need to note that the focus of logistics in the last century was clearly on optimizing it for one business, not for the customer. This changed at the beginning of the 21st century when so-called enterprise systems emerged. Enterprise systems can integrate data within one business, but also across the so-called supply chain, meaning all business that are involved in the production of a certain product for an end customer. For logistics research, this technological improvement meant that we started researching logistics across the supply chain. Some academics call this subdiscipline still logistics. Others call it supply chain management to make clear that there is a different focus. Christopher, for example, believes that supply chain management is more than logistics. I will explain supply chains and the idea of supply chain management in a separate lecture. For now, you should be able to briefly outline the history of logistics research in the last century and appreciate its connection with the innovation of information systems.
Created using Powtoon.